Hello and welcome to our webinar today, Embrace the Cloud, Advantages of a Cloud-Based ERP with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Before we get started, I do just want to go over a few things. Everyone is muted, but if you have any questions, you can enter those in the question panel here on the GoToWebinar panel on the side. If you'd like to chat, feel free to use that as well. If you're having any issues, make sure to get into that chat and I'll make sure to help you out as soon as I can. And now, if you missed our webinar last week, we kicked off the Embrace the Cloud series with a session on the future of Dynamics GP and SL. If you missed it, don't worry. We do have that recording on demand. I'll make sure to add a link into the chat so you can check that out. Now, today we are joined by Jeff Smith, Solution Architect here at Velosio. Looking forward to having him. And Jeff, you can take it away from here.
Michael, I appreciate it, and I'm very excited to be able to give you a little bit of good information today. Just to give you a little bit of background, my job is I'm a solutions architect, which means I spend a lot of time understanding organizational requirements and then turning that into a solution. And as a little bit more information for any of you that are using Dynamics GP or Dynamics SL, I spent 25 years in my career as a Dynamics GP consultant and solution architect. And so we're very excited to move to the next generation of solutions. And I really wanted to give you just a little bit of a peek today of some of the advantages that you can gain. So the objective of today's session is really to show you some advantages that Dynamics 365 Business Central, the cloud solution, brings to your table. So first of all, it eliminates extra cost, hidden costs of on-premise software, and we'll talk about that. It can be implemented quickly. It's less of an install process than the on-premise solutions are. And it also really ties all your data together seamlessly, finance, CRM, projects, inventory, and operations. And that's really a key functionality of Business Central in general, but also then putting it in combination with a variety of other tools that Microsoft brings to the table. Our hope is that we'll be able to simplify reporting with connected data and what we call slice and dice data tools. And we have a number of those that'll be available to you. And I may sound redundant a few times during this session, but it's on purpose, is we also integrate with Office 365, the Power Platform, and really just helping you understand some of the things that brings to the table for you, some of the efficiencies that you can gain. Lastly, one of the things that a lot of our clients are really, really happy about when they make the move from GP or SL to Business Central or any other on-premise solution is that it provides anytime, anywhere mobile access on any device. And it really makes it easy to do remote work. And obviously, the COVID era that we went through certainly highlighted the importance of being able to work remotely when it's necessary. So why are you here? A lot of times we can really categorize the needs into four specific things that people run into consistently that cause them to have pain, take more time than they would otherwise to get things done, and so forth. So number one is strained business growth. The business is growing, but the systems can't keep up. We hear that a lot. A lot of times our clients will have started with a QuickBooks or a small implementation of GP or SL or a variety of other tools, and the system just no longer meets the need for a variety of different reasons. Also, disconnected systems is a really big point. And one of the things that you're going to find, especially across Business Central and the Microsoft ecosystem, is the ability to connect information more easily. So 54% of organizations struggle with the process of system integration. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And the inability to easily work remotely, project control, supply chain management. Those are just a few of the topics that come up on that. Reporting limitations. So a lot of organizations think creation and configuration of reports is too complicated. And whether you're working inside of Business Central or with some of the fantastic tools that work alongside Business Central, we have the ability to create really nice reports that represent your business well and provide you with the information you need, whether you're sharing that internally or externally. And then lastly, and probably one of the things that a lot of you are feeling right now is just the idea of outdated and legacy systems. So several of the on-premise solutions are kind of moving toward the end of life. They're sunsetting their products. Some have stated dates of end. Others have been a little bit more vague about that, but the writing is on the wall when you look at updates and enhancements to the product over time. So anyway, we're hoping that you'll be able to see some things that really will show you that Business Central is a way to go and that can provide you with some greater capabilities while moving you into that next generation of solutions. One of the misconceptions that a lot of folks have in regards to the cost of a cloud-based solution versus an on-premise, the issue is a lot of people think, well, I'm moving to a subscription model, which you are when you move to a cloud-based application, versus the idea of I purchase my solution and that's it. But really, I think this graphic really represents very well some of the things that you may not be thinking about. So when I implement a cloud application like Business Central, I have my software costs, which is an ongoing ongoing subscription, and then I pay one time or maybe over time the implementation, the customization, and training. Now, that's not to say that there won't be down the road certain things that you may want to add or certain things you may want to change or just adding reporting or those types of things that make the system even more of a snug fit for you. But when you look at it, on-premise solution, there's a lot that you may not be thinking about. So you have the software costs, which is significant, and then you have the implementation, customization, and training, which is really identical for the most part between the two solutions. But then there's the maintenance of hardware. There's IT personnel dedicated to maintaining that hardware and also maintaining your infrastructure. There's maintenance. So one of the things that's really important to know is when you move to a tool like Business Central, you will have a system that is updated automatically by Microsoft on a biannual basis. And so the system updates in April and updates in October, and it gives you the ability to almost treat it like your Office 365, where you'll see an occasional update. It's a little bit more structured than that, and it needs to be because we're talking about accounting software here. But ultimately, you don't have to worry about taking your system down. You don't have to worry about any of that. We can make organizational adjustments with Microsoft to schedule this appropriately. You'll have time to do testing. And by the way, Business Central comes with 3 sandbox companies that you can use to do all kinds of testing. That also comes in handy when you're adding additional, if there's any add-on products that you'd like to use to, kind of tighten the fit even closer. Maintenance is a big deal. Upgrades is a big deal. And then just really the cost of enabling remote work, because obviously accessing Business Central is through the cloud, it's through the internet, or it's through a mobile app. And so those are all available to you versus a VPN and some of the security situations that you run across to make sure that the system is safe and secure for you. So where do we benefit? What is the advantage of it being a part of the Microsoft ecosystem? Well, this is just a little bit of a representation of that. So what you can see here is that Microsoft Business Dynamics 365 Business Central is cloud-based. It's housed in Microsoft's Azure environment, which makes it safe and secure, backups, data redundancy. All of those things are taken care of by Microsoft. It also works very nicely in conjunction with Office 365, And traditionally, we might think of Office 365 with accounting software as Excel, but really, we have a variety of different places where the system can absolutely go further than that. So there's interfaces with Office, and that's not just sending documents out through the interface, but it's also working directly in Outlook as an example. And I'll show you a screenshot that's a good example of that. All of our documents that are outward facing, customer or vendor facing, are going to be formatted in Microsoft Word. One other thing that's important, and some of you may already be using some of these tools already, but Power BI is a great dashboarding and reporting tool that allows you to visualize your data. And you can actually embed Power BI dashboards right inside of Business Central. And those Power BI dashboards can be showing you information coming directly from Business Central or from other applications that you may maintain within the business. Power Automate's going to provide you with a workflow engine beyond what's in Business Central on its own, so that it allows you to do anything from notifications to approvals to sharing data, and in some cases, even doing integrations. And then lastly, Power Apps. Power Apps is a fantastic development solution because it's low code and it allows you to work very closely with Business Central or any of the other Microsoft applications to create custom workflows and screens and so forth to give you that extra snug fit. I wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit about the fact that, and especially if you're a GP or an SL user, you may be used to the idea of third-party solutions, and Business Central is not going to be an exception there. There are a number of those. But what's different now is that they're available predominantly on a website that Microsoft offers called AppSource. And you can even access AppSource directly from Business Central. So you can actually install and test in your sandbox environment different applications that may be a fit for you or certain niche functionality that you're requiring. So one example that the Velosio organization brings to the table is a tool called Advanced Projects. And Advanced Projects allows you to have a very strong and robust project accounting and resource management solution that sits on top of Business Central. And when you're using it, it's actually embedded in Business Central, so you'd never know that you weren't working in Business Central. So many of these AppSource applications are going to be just like that, and it really makes it easy for people to get up and run and move with them. So, then we get into the idea of, well, what's included in Business Central out of the box? And it is what you'd expect. It is a true ERP solution. It's targeted at the small and mid-market areas of business. It consists of financial management. I guess you'd be a little disappointed if it didn't have a general ledger, right? But also, anything from payables, receivables, banking, assets, etc. It has a small component of customer relationship management or CRM, and that's a good complement to what's available with Microsoft's Dynamics 365 customer engagement, which is a more robust option for CRM, and Business Central can interface to that very nicely. Inventory, warehousing, and supply chain management are a predominant part of the solution as well, and very strong and robust in many ways to bring distributors great functionality, as well as then service orders, service order management, manufacturing, project management. So all of these things come together with reporting and analytics to bring you a true cloud-based application that has all the abilities to integrate with a variety of other tools like your banking, your payroll, etc. So what we're going to do, and because of our short timeline, I'm going to just show you some screens and talk about those. And like Michael said before, we certainly would be glad to help in more detail if any of this seems interesting to you. So first of all, I just wanted to give you a look at what does Business Central look like. And so this is the home page within Business Central. And there's a couple things to keep note of. First of all, Business Central has the ability to manage one or more companies, and you can see here's the company that I'm working in. You'll notice that I am working in a browser, so this is absolutely cloud-based. The other thing that's important to note is that it is also role-based. And I'll show you a screen where you can see that different users can be assigned to different roles. And within Business Central, a role really leads to what do your screens look like and what are your menu options so that it's most effective for what you do within the organization. So it really allows you to have like an accounting role or a project role or a manufacturing role, depending on how your organization is going to use Business Central. So with that all in mind, this is just a business manager that focuses on accounting, sales orders, purchase orders, and inventory. You can see that I have a number of menu across the top. I have some, some shortcuts that are very easy because we have functionality that allows us to do what's called bookmarking, which allows us to promote a screen from within a menu scheme to your main page. You'll also notice on this screen that we have what I'll call tiles. So visibility into information is fabulous. And it just really allows you to segregate your data, drill into your data, and then I'll show you in a minute where we can actually then share that data using tools like Microsoft Teams, or we can use Outlook and so forth. One last thing that I really didn't provide a screen for today is we have what we call personalization, which allows us within a screen or within a menu to move items around or to remove those items if they're not necessary for us, so that it really takes this already very sleek and easy to maneuver interface and makes it even more convenient for you. So when I was talking about the idea of roles, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. So I'm logged in, as you saw before, into a role called Business Manager. Uh, Business Central probably has 20 different roles right out of the box related to sales and relationship management, service management, manufacturing, distribution, accounting, etc. And so those different roles, like I said, would give you a different look and feel. But beyond that, obviously we want to make the screen streamlined so it's easy to maneuver, but then we have very strong security behind that you can set up so users can not only have a convenient place to work, but also controls can be put in place so that they can only go where they need to go. The other thing that's important and maybe applies to some of you is that Business Central is really an international product. And because of that, you can have different language sets that are available for the product. So I know that there are a number of clients that we work with here, even in the US, that may have Spanish-speaking employees, those types of things, and they can actually have per user more of a regional functionality to make it easy for those team members as well. The next area that I wanted to spend some time on was really the idea of interfacing with Outlook. And I know as a longtime GP user, we had the ability to output documents to Outlook and send them an email. But this actually works both ways. So this screen that you're looking at is a representation of Office 365 Outlook. I'm in an email box, and what you're going to notice is that up here, a circle, or in the square rectangle, this rectangle in red is a Business Central, two Business Centrals, they serve two different purposes, icons, which allow us then to launch Business Central while working in Outlook. So in this example, what I have the ability to do is I have the ability to pick a contact and actually create a purchase order on the fly in Outlook. And it does two things. It allows me to take that and have access to all of my contacts that exist inside of Business Central. It allows me to create a purchase order. And for a lot of people may work very exclusively in Outlook, and so they have access to Business Central data. And when they create the purchase order, they can then email it directly to the vendor in this case. And from there, then that also updates Business Central, so it'll show up as an open purchase order that could then be received against and then matched invoices to, just like you had entered it in Business Central. So this is one example of how the interconnectivity works, and it's more of a practical use case of how a user may spend, like a purchasing manager may spend a lot of time in Outlook. He's getting emails from suppliers, he's corresponding with folks, and so forth. There also is access to information about just the customers or the vendors at large, and you can actually get information on the data that you've transacted with them. If you're interested in a more of an advanced project opportunity that we mentioned, then we even have the ability to enter time through our calendar functionality inside of Outlook, and it will automatically update the project system to record that time. Very, very smooth, easy to use, working in an environment that users are very familiar with, really kind of makes it less daunting to get started with. This example is really an example of how Business Central can work very nicely inside of or alongside of Teams. So you can see over here on the left, I have people that I'm corresponding with. In this case, it's Adam. You're going to see two different things here. You're going to see a link here, and then you're going to see a screenshot here. This link is a result of our ability to take views inside of Business Central and share them through Teams to others in the organization. So that makes it really nice, so that, if you want to share a particular set of data because somebody needs to spend some time on it, or you need to just share that information so they're updated, then you'll have the ability to do that. This functionality down here, actually along this toolbar, is an add-in to Teams that allows us to then do inquiries. So I was able to type in Helen Ray as a contact. It brought up information about Helen Ray, and then I could interact with the system and click on details, and it would take me into a Business Central screen that shows me more details about Helen Ray and the company that she works for. So again, another great example. And by the way, this is actually just growing like crazy. So there's going to be a lot more functionality as time continues down the road. You probably hear the term a lot about AI, artificial intelligence, and Business Central does have a number of different AI applications that apply within the solution. One example is what I'll call a cash flow forecast. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to monitor the activity that's going on in a variety of different ways, whether it be receivables or payables or banking, sales orders, purchase orders, job costing, etc. And it will give us a view of a forecast of cash based upon all of the dates that are out there and so forth. So this is one example. There are others. One of them is predicting late payments of your customers. So if you have customers that maybe are inconsistent, this can actually tell you what it expects to happen along with that. So those are kind of related in a way. And then there's another one that's built in automatically as well that's really about forecasting your inventory. So, and this is just, I think, the tip of the iceberg in regards to where Business Central is going to go, and Microsoft's going to go with AI inside of the solution.